Hello and welcome back to another episode of Kino Plays. Today we are going to be playing Cities Skylines. It is much like SimCity, but just like an updated version. And it supports mods, which I'm very happy about, and that's basically why I'm playing this game. The assets are much like placeables, where you have buildings, intersections, roads, and whatnot. Some of them work, some of them don't. They're all user created mostly. And then you also have actual mods that add to the gameplay. Like this one, for instance. The original gameplay, you can only have 9 tiles. This one, you can have 25. And I'll explain that once we get into it. But there's a lot of different mods that help with the gameplay and just make it a more user-friendly environment, and it helps you immerse yourself into the game. And so, without further ado, let's get started. In this series, we're going to start a whole new game. I'm going to select this map just because there are few features that I really like about it, and I will show you what I'm talking about here shortly. This is not the normal load screen. This is a mod. It's supposed to help speed up the loading. I don't know if it really does or not, but we're just going to skip ahead. On this map, there is a natural spring coming out of the mountain right here. And this is why I chose this map, just because with this later on I can create a lake and then create a dam to power the city. And like right here is the tile. This is what you start off with, but once you build your city and your population grows, you can have more tiles to expand your city even more, or your territory. And like I said before, the original, you can only have 9, but with the mod, it allows you to have up to 25. Alright, let's get started building our city here. Obviously, I'm going to start building off the highway. That way I have connections, and once the city grows, or the highway will allow people to come into the city, and then it will grow. Let's see, let's put a path here. I need to allow myself to have room for expanding the roadways, because right now I can only have these 2-lane roads. I think before I run out of money, I need to add my water and sewage and power. You have a few options here. You can do coal or the wind turbine, but I think I'm going to do the wind turbine. These dark areas of the map is where the wind turbines produce the most power, and this is a pretty good map for that. So we're going to put our pump way over here. This will pump water into our city, and then our sewage runoff. Obviously, we want to put it downstream because you don't want to pump sewage into your city. And then we need to connect the two with the water pipes. And once the city grows, you can unlock other options like power and water filtration systems, or eco-friendly is what they call them, I guess. Then you have different roadways, wider roads, one-way roads, different highway options. But I want to go with the standard grid system here, just because it makes things a lot easier with such a small area right now. And I want to utilize all of the area that I can. And so I'm just gonna use the grid system, but then you also got to think about traffic as well. So I probably should run it the other direction, just because you'll have a lot of four-way intersections to the highway, and it causes a lot of traffic jams. So we're gonna run it all this way. That way the road is longer and there's less intersections, basically. Let's put that here, and let's connect this guy. Well, the road's kind of messed up there. We gotta flatten that out. But we'll do it right here. We'll flatten it out a little bit later, because right now money is kind of tight. Alright, that looks pretty good. Like I said, we want to utilize all of our square footage here, so our roads are going to be lined perfectly with each zone. Although this last one I won't have. I'll have a little extra in the center there. But we will figure out how to utilize that area later on. First, we just need to get this city populated, because once we reach certain levels, then you earn extra cash, and obviously other options are unlocked. Road options and police, fire, education. Like I said, this is much like SimCity, but just updated version. It's honestly a lot like SimCity Societies, but more with the original SimCity gameplay. Societies was a little different than the original SimCity. I don't know why they changed the whole gameplay when it came to that. You didn't really worry about finances as much. It was more social status, and I don't know. I didn't really like it. I didn't play it very often, or much, I guess I should say. Alright, so now we need to make sure all of our zoned area has water. So when you lay a line out, you see the blue zoned area around it. That is how much area it can serve, and obviously each one of these lines cost you money, so you don't want to overlap a whole lot. You want to make sure that you're saving your money as of right now, though, because right now you're kind of limited on your funds. But once your city builds up and you are doing a good job, then your city will start earning revenue, and you will have, I wouldn't say unlimited money, but you'll have quite a bit of money to play around with and waste, if that's what you want to call it. Let's get these water lines laid out, and then we'll start zoning with residential, commercial, and industry. We'll skip ahead. Alright, we are ready to zone the area. One thing, obviously, industry is dirty and creates pollution, so you don't want to put it right next to your residential, because who wants to live next to a bunch of industry that's dirty and pollutes the air? So we're going to make this residential, and then we'll put a little section of commercial in between us and the industry, which should make your residents of your city happy. Yeah, we'll stick it right here. Let's say about that much, maybe. What do you think? Maybe a little more. Industry is usually what the uneducated people will want, because initially your residents of your city will not be educated. So, and apparently uneducated people work in factories, according to this game and I guess the real world. You can make a comment on that below if you choose to. So next we're going to add some power, and like I said, we're going to use wind turbines, just because they're cheap, they're easy, and they provide a good amount of steady power, and they don't have much of a upkeep. We need to connect our water, and looks like we are out of money. So I guess we're not going to hook up our water pump at this time. But once the city gets a few, I don't know, I think it's like 300 residents, then I will upgrade, or I will unlock some new options, and it will give me more money. You can also take a loan out. Actually, right now you can't, but later, once your population grows, you can take loans out. But I always try not to do that, just because once you're in debt, it's really hard to get out of debt. So right now we're just waiting on our population to grow. I'm going to turn these off, that way it doesn't cost me or add to my debt. We're just going to speed up this process until we get to our next level up. Alright, that didn't take very long, and we unlocked a few things, and also I think we got like 20 grand, I think. And see here, it unlocks the loans and taxes. You're able to adjust your taxes as well, but we're going to leave it as they are for right now. And let's go ahead and connect our water. That way our citizens have water. We need to get the power line. The power lines cost money too, but once the city grows and populates itself, then we can tear down these power lines. And let's turn these back on. And we can sit back and watch the city grow. Alright, we upgraded again. Yeah, initially when you first start playing, you level up pretty quick, as long as you don't blow all your money on dumb shit. I have this mod that it's a auto budget, and it's supposed to automatically adjust your budget to I guess minimize the waste, because if you have everything on like 100 but you're only using 50%, then so there's waste going on. Looks like we need to add a couple more of these for power. And why is my water still not coming up? I guess that will... Come on. Alright, I guess I just need to add a couple more pumps. Pretty much for every pump you add, you need to add another sewage outflow. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead and fast forward so I don't bore you to death. Alright, it appears our city is starting to grow now. I got the water issue figured out. I think we need to add more power. I don't know though. Let's put some power to the corner over here to try to boost the industry in this corner of the city. Maybe that'll help. We still do have a little bit of industry demand, so I don't know why they're not building. Doesn't make any sense. Maybe I need to put power into the zoned area. At this point, it's just a waiting game. You're just trying to build up your city to get it into the positive. That way it builds more income. And I still have other parts of my territory or my tile that I can build on, but we're just going to get this part built up first, and then we'll head to the next section once we actually have money in the reserve. I still don't understand why the industry is not growing. But the cool thing about this is the industry DLC. You can have like forest, farm, ore, and oil. It's so once you set up those industries, you can really start earning some revenue. Another mod I have installed is you can speed up the time, and you can speed up the camera view. As you can see here, it's really fast. I turn it down, it moves slower. The original game will only allow you to speed up at 3x, but this mod allows you to speed up at 9x. It helps out with boredom, basically. But this slider also, it's kind of like a speed up mod too. It speeds up the water, but I don't know. I haven't quite figured out exactly what it does. Alright, looks like our industry is finally starting to build, although we have zero demand. There's a little bit. Alright, our city's growing at a healthy rate, and it looks like we need to add more power, so I'm going to place that there. Another thing I didn't mention is you can't place anything outside of your square or your tile, but you can inside. I still have this whole area over here that I can build in, but like I said, we're just going to get our budget under control and in the positive. That way we can start earning revenue and not have to take a loan out. Might have to raise taxes, but I always try not to do that. It looks like our city is growing at a healthy rate. Right now, let's see what the citizens are complaining about. Looks like we have some sick citizens, so we're going to put some little medical centers around town. That way it makes them happy and they continue to grow. Because if your citizens are sick, they will leave. Then your population drops, and so does your revenue. Then let's put a fire department here, because there's a lot of risk for fire. And we probably need to put a police station down, and some education, some schools. But right now we are broke, so we need to get our ticker back on, speed time up, and wait for the revenue to come in. That way we can continue to build our city. And ooh, there's a fire. That sucks. Well, we'll just speed this up. Hopefully the fire department will take care of it. Yeah, it looks like they did. Okay, we got some money, and our citizens are complaining about trash is piling up, so we need to add a landfill, or what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this mod right here because it doesn't produce any pollution, and it takes care of your trash problems for you. Because without these mods, you have to have a landfill, then you have recycling centers, and it doesn't seem like whatever I do, I still continue to have trash problems. And so I downloaded this mod to help with this. But yeah, everybody's having trash. Everybody's complaining about trash. It's piling up everywhere. And you can see as soon as I plopped it down, then areas turn blue. Might need another one. Yeah, let's go ahead and give them another one. And it looks like I'm having power problems again. Let's see, let's increase the budget. I don't know if that's what the problem is, because I should have plenty of power. I don't know. The auto budget for the electricity doesn't seem to work real well. Let's go ahead and throw another one down. Yeah, let's throw a couple down. We got the money, we might as well. Yeah, citizens do not like them because they create noise pollution, but you know what? They can either listen to the noise or have no power. So I think it's what's this guy complaining about? The citizen is sick. Didn't I put down some medical centers? Oh, maybe I didn't. I don't see any. Could have swore I put some down. Oh well, let's get a couple of these guys down to make our citizens happy and healthy. Because if they're healthy, they're working and they're paying taxes. Where can I put this one at? I guess right here. I don't know. And one thing about the original game SimCity, you would have a radius, and it would tell you how much of an area that this, fire station or this medical center would service. This game does not, which I wish it would. Maybe there's a mod that will give you the radius of where it services. I'll have to look that up, I guess. But right now it looks like everybody's pretty happy. Nobody's complaining. The water's flowing well. Power is flowing. Let's fast forward this a little bit. It looks like there's more demand for residential now, and like I said, you don't want to put this near the industry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dezone some of the commercial and throw some residential in there. And then once I do that, we will dezone some of the industry and throw some commercial into that section. Because you always want to have a pretty good balance between industry and the commercial. Although right now, because my citizens aren't very smart, they will not be working much in the commercial end. So let's drop this here. Whoops, maybe not. Let's try it again. All right. Yes, I'm tired. I'm yawning. Alright, let's speed this up and see how it goes. It looks like we are having a water flow issue. Looks like our pumps are sucking up more water than the natural spring is providing. As you can see right there, I mean, might be a bit of an issue. So we might have to move the pumps. I guess I would put them upstream around this area. Let's see here. Where are the pumps? There they are. Put one there. And I need to connect it to the line. And one thing you can also do is move the pump. It will cost you a little bit of money, but you're not paying the full amount either. So we're gonna move one of them over here because it looks like 2 is just too much for the spring. We need to add this one to the water. Alright, we got that. Hopefully that solves our issue. We got plenty of power. Maybe. I don't know, let's add these over here just in case. These are also wind turbines, but they go in the water, and I think the water helps create power as well. It looks like they have solar panels on them too, so water, wind, and solar. And they create 20 megawatts. The normal wind turbines, they create up to 8. Yeah, look at this. Looks like it's the one pump is going to be okay. The 2 pumps was just too much. At this point, it looks like we have solved, I would say, probably 90% of our problems. So at this point, I'm just going to let the time fast forward and earn revenue. That way I can build on to the city onto the other side of the little creek here, or river, whatever you want to call it. It's more of a creek. So I'm just going to fast forward through this part right here. Alright, so our city looks to be doing pretty good. We have almost 80 grand saved. So I'm going to start building on the other side of the creek. But I'm going to wait and do that in the next episode. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, enjoy.